The cruise ship swayed gently on the sparkling blue ocean, its decks buzzing with tourists enjoying the warm sun and salty breeze. Emma, exhausted from a long day of sightseeing in the bustling port city before boarding, dragged her suitcase through the endless hallways of the luxury liner. Her ticket showed room 406, but in her daze, and thanks to her phone dying at the worst possible time, she misread the number, turning into the corridor for room 604 instead. The hallway smelled faintly of citrus cleaner and ocean air. Her heels clicked softly on the carpet, her head heavy from fatigue. She stopped in front of the door, tapped in the keycard, and to her relief, the lock gave a welcoming green light. Inside, the room was perfectly chilled, the faint hum of the air conditioner lulling her further into drowsiness. A wide king-size bed sat invitingly in the middle, the kind of bed that seemed to promise a nap so deep you'd forget what year it was. Emma didn't even think to check the surroundings. She tossed her small bag onto a chair, kicked off her shoes, and curled up on top of the comforter. Within minutes, the rhythmic rocking of the ship pulled her into a deep sleep. An hour later, the sound of the door unlocking jolted her slightly, but she assumed it was housekeeping. She didn't even open her eyes. The door swung open. A man's voice, low, firm, and distinctly surprised, broke the stillness. What the hell? Emma shot upright, hair tangled, eyes adjusting to the sight of a tall man in a perfectly tailored navy shirt and expensive-looking watch, holding a keycard in one hand and a champagne bottle in the other. What? Emma stammered, clutching a pillow as if it could shield her from the awkwardness. You're in my room, he said slowly, brows knitting together. He stepped inside, shutting the door behind him with unnerving calm. His eyes were sharp, the kind that could notice every detail in a second, but instead of looking angry, he looked intrigued. Emma's face burned. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought, I must have. She scrambled to her feet, but the ship's gentle sway threw her slightly off balance. He caught her elbow before she could stumble. Easy there, he murmured, his tone softer now. You're obviously not a thief. And considering you were dead asleep, I'm guessing this was a mistake. She nodded rapidly. Room 406. Not 604. My brain just failed. He chuckled, a deep, warm sound that made the air between them shift. Well, lucky for you, I was only gone an hour. If you'd picked any other room, you might have been escorted out by security. Her eyes widened. Security? Relax, he said with a faint smirk. I'm not going to report you. But you owe me an explanation, over dinner. Emma blinked. Dinner. Dinner, he repeated matter-of-factly, setting the champagne on the table. Consider it a way to make up for breaking into my cabin. That evening, they met at the ship's elegant dining hall. The man, whose name was Adrian, turned out to be both disarmingly charming and maddeningly mysterious. He avoided direct questions about his job but let slip that he was on this cruise alone, to take a break from people who never stop asking for things. Emma, despite her embarrassment earlier, found herself laughing more than she had in months. The conversation flowed effortlessly, like they'd known each other far longer than a few hours. At one point, he leaned closer across the table. You know, he said, I almost walked right past my room earlier. If I had, I'd never have met the woman who sleeps in strangers' beds without asking. She groaned. You're never going to let me live this down, are you? Not a chance. By the time dessert arrived, the awkwardness of their first encounter had transformed into something lighter and warmer. Adrian insisted on walking her back to her real room, pausing at her door. I think I'll keep my door unlocked tomorrow, he said with a sly smile. Just in case you get lost again. Emma laughed, and for the first time on the cruise, she wasn't just looking forward to the ocean views, she was looking forward to what tomorrow might bring.